Today, guys, we're going to be talking about how you guys can solo queue in COD Mobile and actually win games. This is something that is very, very challenging to do, but with these tips, I am currently on a 11 solo queue win streak. Let me know right now down in the comments to help everybody else out as well. What is the easiest mode to solo queue in and actually win the game? And while you're down there, make sure you drop a like on today's video and subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into the first tip. And the first tip is you need to make sure that you play the missing role. So the roles in Call of Duty Mobile are similar to in a sport where there is, we'll say American football, for example, there's a quarterback, somebody that throws the ball. There's a receiver, somebody that catches the ball. And then there's those big guys up front that actually block so that the quarterback can throw the ball or so that the guy running can actually run through and gain yards. So same thing within Call of Duty Mobile. What you need to do, if there is nobody playing the OBJ role, objective, right, then you need to play the objective role. And you'll see in the gameplay that I have that I'm actually solo queuing and I'm doing really, really well. But what I have to do is basically continue to adjust through each different role, because sometimes I start off playing objective, right? I notice my team doesn't, so then I play objective. And then as the game continues on, they start to play on the objective a little bit more, which then means I need to be the Slayer. So to get to the points of really the main roles that you need to think about in any respawn game mode, or really any game mode, is going to be, there's the Slayer role, somebody that's just running around and getting kills, keeping them away from the objectives. Then there's the objective player, and then there needs to be a map control player, somebody that's kind of not playing too aggressive, that's kind of playing on the map, playing near the hard point or near the flag or even near the bomb, but it's just watching an angle so that they can't push up. And then there needs to be somebody that's kind of anchoring spawns, playing a little bit more passive, and just filling roles, whatever there may need to be. For tip number 2, this is specifically for search and destroy, but really it applies to every game mode, and that is don't take risky gunfights, right? Now, risky gunfights are going to be when you get a little bit more aggressive in their spawn, when you're pushing something that you don't necessarily need to push. For example, if you're on defense and then you push all the way through into their spawn, and maybe you could get 2 kills, or you could just die, and then your teammates that aren't very good are going to have to win the round. And even if it's an easy win, you know, maybe you just don't push that and play a little bit more passive. One rule of thumb I like to use, this is super important, so make sure you guys remember this specific part. Do not push past the objectives. That is always a great rule of thumb. And if you're making it to this part in the video, comment, don't push past. Right, just that, so anybody that is not watching to this point is going to have no idea, and I'll make sure I heart and respond to every single one of those comments. Tip number 3 is ideally communication is super important. So if you can use your microphone, use your mic, right? Even if you're calling out and nobody's listening, you calling out is going to help your team kind of know what's going on. If you can't call out, use the game chat. That way you can talk to people, let them know where you plan on pushing, where they need to watch, and maybe more than likely, I've been doing this and I see sometimes people will turn their mics on, or they'll start responding back, or they'll just follow what you're saying to do. Rush B, and then people rush B. It doesn't always work great, but at least it's an option of something to try to build that communication. Maybe you get somebody with a mic, you add them, and then you guys start playing together. For the 4th tip, really nothing else is super important if you don't play on the objectives, right? Even if you're supposed to slay, and you see that you've killed 3 people and your teammates are not jumping on the objective, jump on the objective, right? Plant the bomb, cap the flag, hold in the hard point, right? All of those things are super important. Even if you're doing really, really well and you're on a kill streak and you want to get maybe your Goliath or VTOL or whatever, oh well, because if you get the Goliath or you get the EMP or VTOL or whatever and it gets shot down right away, but you also just didn't hop into the objective and they got the objective and won, guess what? That VTOL was useless, right? That EMP, that Goliath was useless. So no matter what, if you want to win games, you want to do well solo queuing, just play the objective, right? And my last tip for today's video, this one might be the most most important tip I have for you guys, and that is playing fast at the start. Playing fast is super, super important to understand your teammates. You'll get a very good idea how the enemy team plays. You'll get a very good idea on how your teammates play and what you're going to need to do on, are they really good at winning gunfights? Are they really good with gun skill? Are they very campy? Are they very, very objective oriented, right? For example, the enemy team or your team. And then you can go, okay, they're really heavy on the objective. I'm also an objective player. Some of you might say, well, guess what? They need a slayer because everybody's jumping onto the B flag, and some kid with a, an S36 or a chopper or whatever kills 4 of your team, and then they hop on the objective, right? So you need to be able to play the slayer role, or just figure out how the enemy team does. Are they very passive and you need to continue to play aggressive, or are they also very aggressive and you need to slow it down a little bit? Guys, thank you so much for watching the entire video. If you made it to this point, you're an OG. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like button for me, please, and hit that subscribe button as well.